Hey, Ilya, welcome to the show. It's good to have you here.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Well, it's an exciting time with everything that's happening in AI and all the money being funneled into AI through venture capital firms. So I suppose you're the right person to be speaking to this week. So I'm going to start off by paraphrasing a common question I get with new VC principals we work with, right? So we have a lot of clients who have come through the ranks and they've taken leadership roles in VC funds. So one of the things we've been grappling with is where does the skill with the VC, with the top performing VC funds lie? Is it in the selection of whom to invest in, or is it in the way they manage the investment after they make the investment, or is it equal on both sides?
That is a great question, Michael. And I've spent 20 years at Stanford studying this very question.
Very good. You're going to summarize 20 years of work for our
I'll
audience.
try
Thank
to
you.
do it in 1 minute, even though
1 minute. Okay, let's do it.
it might not be in one sentence. But the summary is, on the one hand, there is no one simple factor
Yes.
that determines whether venture capitalists are going to be successful or not. So if somebody is looking for a golden egg, that's kind of, I have disappointing news. At the same time, yes, there are principles, that
Yes.
factors that VCs use, smart VCs, that enable them to be more successful. And my research, my work clearly shows that. And I think it is so important. It is so important not just for VCs, but for all of us, that I have a name for it. I named it the venture mindset. And it is really an approach to how you go about and make decisions. And it holds for both selection. It in fact starts even before selection.
Yes.
How you organize your pipeline of deals, of potential deals. Then it holds for selection. Then it holds for your negotiations with the startup founders. And then it also holds for how you operate after you invest. So in fact, the venture mindset is something that is first critically important. Smart VCs, successful VCs all have it. And I also think that this is something very counterintuitive that most people outside of the VC don't really completely follow. So let me now give you one example, if I may, about what I mean by the venture mindset.
Yes, please.
I hope that hopefully I will surprise at least some of you, of our listeners, Michael, today. So here is, at least I surprise my Stanford students when I teach a venture capital class, and every single time I surprise them with many things. And here's one. What is the one single most important question that VCs ask when they, for the first time, see any investment opportunity? Like, you go around the world and you see many startups, and what is the first question? What is the most important question? Okay. And when I ask this question, people or my students, they will say, well, what do I think about the founder? Or do I like the idea?
Yeah.
Or what is the business model? In fact, it's none of this. It's none of this. The venture mindset asks the following question: why I do not want to invest in this startup? And that sounds very counterintuitive.
Yes.
Venture capitalists, you are supposed to make investments, right? But the very first question you ask is, why do I not want to invest in this startup? And then, if you find out at least one, what I call red flags,
Yes.
critical flaws, then VCs will say, oh gosh, I do not want to invest in this startup. And then they will move on. And then they'll consider other opportunities. And asking these red flag critical flaw questions is this one of the specific mechanisms that venture capitalists use. And that is very ingrained in the venture mindset. But when I work with large global companies, for
Yes.
example, they don't ask these questions.
No.
They
They
in
look for
fact
the
go
reasons
into,
why they should do it.
but that's right. They go into this deep analysis of cash flows, the strategies,
Yeah, that's right.
tactics, the culture. You see the tables, presentations, Excel files flying around. VCs don't do it, at least in the initial step, never. They ask this one question. And amazingly enough, I think that all of us, all of our listeners should be asking this question in their personal life as well. So why, like, let's say, for example, you're looking for a job, okay? And you have a lot of job opportunities. You're trying to get interviews. The very first question to ask when somebody offers you to go through an interview or to submit your application, why do I not want this job? As opposed to, oh, why do I want this job?
Yes.
It turns out to be this is a much more healthier and more successful question to ask.